Good afternoon. It's a beautiful Saturday. I said I was gonna start doing this, so maybe I can get somebody on here to join me and we can talk about Jasmine. Um, I have StreamYard, but I just didn't want to go through StreamYard today. So hopefully I can get at least one or two people on here to discuss this with me because this is on my heart. And I wasn't gonna, I've been on YouTube for a long time actually, and I never worked on building my channel. And now it's kind of like I see why people do reactions now because you see things and you want to speak on them. You feel like your opinion, what you have to say, may be valuable to someone else and valuable to whoever you may be reacting to. So there's no one here, but I'm gonna go ahead and start this because maybe they'll see it later. Um, this is for Jasmine, my Jazzy life. Um, I'm first of all, I'm gonna say I'm not coming on here to be negative. Um, because I think Jasmine, what she's going through is something a lot of us can relate to. Men, women, no matter what you look like, no matter what you have or where you live, I think that we all can relate to it. But with Jasmine, I kind of feel like, um, Jasmine, kind of feel like you're trying to kind of deflect from where that actual feeling is coming from because the way that you're talking about this, the way that you seem so hurt, it has to come from someone whose opinion of you matters. And I know that long as you have your subscriber counts, long as you're getting your views, you don't care. People have been talking about your looks forever. And that's something they're going to do no matter what you look like. People will find something. Okay. But I just found it, quite convenient for this to come out now, for your feelings to be so hurt after things seem to go a little bit left with you and Christopher. And yes, I'm calling him Christopher. I'm calling him by his name. I'm not on here to call names or anything like that because this is for Jasmine and not Jasmine. I do hope that you listen to this because this is not this is not I'm not right now. I'm not talking about your children. Right now, I'm not talking about your mothering, like you guys like to say. Right now, I'm not talking about how you keep your feet, your house, or none of that because I feel like all of that comes from how you feel about yourself. Um, you know, Sometimes it's hard to get up in the morning because you may feel low. And I know that depression is something that you suffer with. And I don't have depression, but I know other people that do. And sometimes it's hard to get up in the morning. And sometimes it's hard to do what needs to be done. And there may be someone out there that's going to say, oh, well, you're making excuses. You're calling her. No, I'm not. I'm going off of what she's telling us. Because I'm not going to sit here and make up things outside of what I'm seeing. But I can draw a conclusion. And I do feel like that how you're feeling about yourself is a reflection of what's being told to you about you instead of you um saying that that's what it is because I get it. You don't want to know what's going on in your home. That's totally your business. So you're saying it came in a DM or a message or whatever or in comments, and people have been making comments about your looks. People could make comments about my looks. I don't claim to be a beauty queen, but Jasmine, you need to see what it is from your past that has you feeling this way about yourself. Is it your childhood? Is it previous relationships? Is it your relationship with your mother, your father, your grandparents? What is it? Is it something that happened at school? Because it seems like to me, I know for me, as I got older, my self esteem rose even more. But I see that with you, as time passes, it's coming down. But I can tell you, I don't want to go off of what I'm not seeing. But as a woman who's been in a relationship with a narcissist, this is what happens. They bring you up in the beginning. I mean, they bring you up. They praise you. You're beautiful. You're this, you're that. And just as high as they take you, that's as low as they will bring you down. And I feel like that's what's happening. You know, I also noticed too that, there's not a lot of shopping with your mom and all that kind of stuff. That's another thing that happens when someone is involved with someone that is narcissistic. And someone might say, well, why do you think Chris is narcissistic? Well, if you've been with a narcissist, it's easy to spot one. Okay? Um, and I watch, Sofa Time with Kels, and that's my girl. That's someone else. If you want to know about a narcissist, she knows. And I don't know if she's dealt with one too, but when she talks about a narcissist, she knows she's talking about, because those are the things that I experienced. And with me dealing with that, I went on to study it. And I see a lot of those characteristics in Christopher. Now, I don't know if he is exactly one. But from the timeline and the order of things I'm seeing going on with Jazz, it makes sense. Jasmine, honey, you have to find it in yourself to figure out what is it in you that allows you to let yourself feel this way. You are a mother of 5. Your girls are watching you. As high as your self-esteem is, that's about as high as theirs will be, because they're learning from you. And someone once told me that more is caught than what is taught. So basically, when your kids learn a lot from watching you, not from listening to you, from watching you. And I just find it quite sad and quite concerning that this is what they're seeing. And I'm not saying that it makes you terrible. It means that there's some healing that needs to be done with you. I suggest maybe some form of therapy or counseling to try to get to the root of it, because, honey, you're just accepting too much. You're just accepting too much. You know, with that, we people may say, oh, people look at each other or something, but I'm sorry, honey, that's not the way a man looks at you when he loves you. That's just not it. That's not the way a man looks at a woman when he loves them. That look is a look of disgust, and it bothers me, because I've seen you by yourself, and yes, you said you were depressed, but you were not being disrespected in your own house. You know, I just feel really bad for you, because I feel like you're accepting things. I don't know if it's because you feel like you don't deserve better, or is it because you saw this growing up, or is it because you feel like you can't get anyone else? I don't know what it is, but I hope that you heal and that you see that this is not life. My suggestion to you also would be to hold off on having more kids. You know, um, I think that, and I've been guilty of this myself, and I think what we mess up as women is we allow things to happen too fast. And my mother always told me that when you meet someone for the first 6 months to maybe even a year, you're only getting the representative. This person is showing you the best of who they can be. That's until that something happens to make them feel like, I got her where I want her, or I got him where I need him, because I'm not going to make this just a man thing. This happens to people of both sexes, okay? Um, so I feel like that's what happened with you. You allow things to move too fast. I mean, you start talking about him, and then suddenly he's in your home. And this is not just to her; it's to any other ladies that may hear this. Ladies, your home is your safe haven. It is your abode. It is your space. It's your place. It's where you're supposed to feel the most safe. It's where you're supposed to feel the most free inside of your home. Be careful. Be careful about what and who you allow into your home. And in the state of Texas, when someone lives with you for 30 days, honey, you can't really get them out. Don't let them be getting mail. All their belongings are there. So, and that's anywhere. So, ladies, let's slow down on that. You could be in a relationship without cohabitating. A person does not have to live with you. So that's one thing I noticed. The moving in is fast. Allowing men that your children just met to do daddy duties. That's That's a bit much. We have to be sure that we are protecting our peace and protecting our space. You never know who you're dealing with. It can take some time to truly get to know a person, and people always say that. Well, if you don't meet their family, be leery. But that doesn't mean anything either, because some families, they are rather the person meet a nice girl or a nice guy so they can kind of get them off of them a little bit. You know, I once heard a lady say that her son got a girlfriend. Hopefully, he'll be moving out of her house and into the girlfriend's house soon. So she was being really nice to the girlfriend. I've heard someone say that. So we just have to make sure that we are careful. And Jazz, I think that's where you messed up a little. And I know it's hard. You want help. Listen, I have one, and sometimes I feel like I want help, but all help ain't good help. You have to be sure that whatever place that you're in without the help, make sure the help doesn't come in and make it worse. There's so much peace when it's you. You understand what I'm saying? It's so much peace. And I have to say this too. I know I'm kind of going on and on and on, but I have so many thoughts in my head, and I didn't take the time to write it down. I just went on and pushed live and came live because I wanted to speak. I didn't make a video or edit and do all that stuff because time is of the essence. But having babies does not make situations better. Okay? Having babies brings more responsibility. That means the relationship now comes with responsibility. The relationship is not just about you and that person anymore. So I don't think that babies can fix relationships. I think that babies will show you what a relationship can really hold, how it can really hold. If it's genuine, if it's sincere, because you got to think about it. You go from being able to go out with this person, you go from being able to enjoy life with this person, and then you have another little person, and it's also that person's responsibility. See, when you have your kids and they have their kids, and you're taking care of yours, because you already said that he's not obligated to help you. And sis, we might talk about that another time, because any man that's living in my home, any man that I'm sharing myself with, he's obligated to a lot. He's obligated to everything I'm obligated to. See, you set those standards low, and that's what you're gonna get, baby. I don't know. I don't know. I think that we all went through those spells when we were kind of like, young, and didn't make the best decisions. But once you get in your 30s, it's time to start getting your mind together. Especially when you are a mother of multiple children. I'm just hoping that you see that how you feel about yourself is a reflection of all the decisions that you make. It's going to be a reflection of how your kids feel about themselves. It's about it even has a lot to do with how much you accept, um and how you feel about how others can make you feel about yourself. So my suggestion to you, and I heard someone else say this, I think it was Vet's voice. Hey Vet, um, you said that, Vet said that, and I think Cookie said it too. Cookie's react. Hey Cookie. I think you said, I think both of them said it. Stop reading negative comments, negative DMs. When you read the first couple of words, you know if it's going to be negative. Stop right there, delete it, and keep going. Because people are always going to bring negativity, but it's about if you allow it in your space and if you allow it to affect you. Okay? That is determined. I got a phone call, but there's no one here. So that's all I wanted to say. I'll probably come on at another time and say something else. If anyone sees this video on the replay, please give it a like. I just had to say that it's from my heart. Jasmine, this was totally out of positivity. This is to uplift you, honey. This is for you to do better, for you to look at yourself in the mirror and say that I am worthy because God created me. That is enough for you to love yourself. God created you. And He created you to live life happily and abundantly. He created you out of love. He created you to love and to be loved. And if you're in any situation where you don't feel like that's happening, then you should let it go. Because guess what? God is always there. And I'm sorry if people here are not religious, but I love God. And I totally believe in Him and I trust in Him and I have faith in Him. And that's what's gotten me through. So Jazz, I hope that you know that this is valuable to you, and I hope that you hear this, and I hope that you take heed to this. God bless you and your babies. Thank you for whoever is here in the replay listening. I appreciate it. Have a